Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this quick and easy card called a shutter card or fractured card. I'm using the Bee My Valentine stamp set and punch to create this fun little bee and our online exclusive designer series paper, Flowering Zinnias, that you can find in my online store. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. I'm going to start with the stamping for my project, and I want to flip over the bee punch here because I want to show you where I'm going to be stamping based on the punch. I'm going to pick up my little bee body here, and I am going to ink it up. I'm going to flip it so that it's this direction only because that'll give me a better handle. And I'm going to stamp 1, 2, 3, allowing that ink to embed into the cardstock. And then I'm going to pick up my little wings here. I'm going to start on this side so that it'll punch easily. And I'm going to stamp that twice. And then I'm going to bring in the little antennae and place that on this outside edge on the right so I can slip that into the punch and punch. I've got that finished so I can bring in my punch. I'll start with the wings here. And of course, if you don't stamp it properly for punching, you can always do it again. And the second set of wings. And then the little antennae in this heart, making it quick and easy. There we go. And then I'm going to bring the bee in. I'm going to slide this in. And as you can see, if you don't want to punch out yellow hearts and antennae, then use a thinner strip of cardstock, but I'm okay with that. I've got my bee done and I'm ready to start assembling. Next, I'm going to bring in my signature panel and my You're as Sweet as Honey, ink it up and stamp it right here on the top. There we go. I've got a little curve to that because I wanted to give a little look there of an arch, and you can do that easily simply by placing it on your clear block with a little bit of curve. I love that about our photopolymer. So we're ready to start assembling. I'm going to bring in my Flowering Zinnias designer series paper. I love this big bold pattern with its bright cheerful flowers and a square of petal pink for the center. I'm going to lay this on the cardstock on a diagonal like so. And then I'm going to bring in these strips. Now these are 1/4-inch strips and I cut them on my trimmer, and so if you feel or look, you can see a little ridge on the back side, and on the front side it's going to be smooth. Just a little tip for when you are cutting with your trimmer and finding the correct side. Now this is a real thin strip of paper, so I'm going to add just a real light line of adhesive. I'm going to bring my card front in here, line up that edge with the corner of my square and go down, adhering. And then I'm going to bring in a second strip and add some adhesive to the one end also. And if you want, you can lay this on your designer series paper and kind of see where you need to go. I'm using multi-purpose, so I don't want to go too far because I do not want it sticking to my surface. But I'm going to set that down, butt that up against the other piece and the square, and burnish. There we go. Now at this point, it should be dry, so I can bring my paper snips in and trim these off so I can use them again. And if it's not dry, I can simply slide those back. Our multi-purpose adhesive sheets would be perfect for this because they're quick and easy. They put adhesive exactly where you want them, and you can pull back that back panel before you adhere the next section down and just give your adhesive on this. I'm going to bring this next strip in, add adhesive to the back, being careful where I'm putting it, of course, and flip it over and adhere that in place. butting it against that cardstock edge on both sides. And then I'm ready to bring in this last piece and add adhesive to the back and do the same thing on this last side. It really doesn't matter which side you start on. You'll get the same effect based on where you're going. And of course, if you want more of this to show, simply slide it down and it'll give you a little longer piece. So I'm going to wait for that to dry, and while I'm doing so, I'm going to bring in my inside panel and this lovely little strip of Designer Series paper. Just for a bold look, I'm going to flip that over, or if you prefer, you can use the back side. But for this, I think I'm going to use the floral side, and I want that big purple blossom to run off the edge. So I'm simply going to line it up right there on my base. And of course, if I've cut the base a little larger than my strip, I can simply trim that with my paper trimmer before I adhere it to the inside. At this point, my other strip should be dry, and I'm simply going to snip those off. And as you can see, there is extra adhesive on there, and that's where I was saying you want to be careful if you're using your double-sided tape or the multi-purpose. Just being aware of what is around you on your work surface. At this point, I can bring in my card front, fold it on the score line and burnish, and then adhere my card front panel down. I just love the look of this shutter card. I was given one of these at our Houston backstage event for leaders, and it's so quick and easy, although it looks quite complicated. Next, I'm going to bring my little bee in. I'm going to be setting my bee in the center like this, so I'm going to flip it over and add the little wings. Now you can do it this way, or if you prefer, there's plenty of room so you can assemble it without that back panel. Just wanted you to visually see where I was going. So I'm going to put a dot of adhesive on each one of these hearts, like so, and I'm going to touch. I want a jotty little angle on my wings, so I'm going to tip those up a little bit, like so. There we go, and then I can pick the whole bee up, add his little antennae. Now I forgot to add his little face, so I'll do that quickly. I should have done that after I punched. You have a number of faces to choose from in this set, which makes it a lot of fun to work with, and I love this little smiley face. I've got my bee done, and I can flip them over and add some dimensionals. Now, whether you use our mini dimensionals or our full-size dimensionals, that's up to you. You can also use it to kind of catch the edge if you're using the minis and tuck them in around the wings and the hearts as you desire. I'm going to flip that over and place it right here in the center of my card front. Now that I have my card front done, I want to add the little movement for my bee. So I'm going to pick this up in my tuxedo. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm simply going to stamp it right here below the little bee, being careful not to rock too far because I don't want to catch an edge if I got ink along the outside edge. But there you go, a little bit of movement on my bee, which is just a nice little detail that you can add. At this point, I can adhere my signature panel to the inside of my card, or simply set it there for when I'm ready to send it and write my signature and message. So there you go, a quick and easy shutter card using the Bee My Valentine stamp set. I love the versatility of this stamp set and how it takes you into the summer months for creating projects like this. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.